Hello friends. Best puzzle games for Android, 10 brain-breaking games. Shooting and action games are not for everyone. Some people like to think. Our team tested the 100 best logic games in PlayMarket, and after hours of hot battles, we came up with the top 10 Android puzzle games rating. So stretch your fingers, it will be exciting and sticky. Roll the Ball, an interesting puzzle game for smartphones, where the player needs to play 15 on the track. The path along which the ball must roll is located randomly on the cubes. The task of the gamer is to connect them so that the ball rolls along the track from the beginning to the end of the track. And if the first 5 to 10 levels are simple, then the fun becomes more complicated. Extra pieces of wood appear, the number of moves decreases, some figures remain in place the whole level. Limited amount of time. For those who are stuck on a level and can't get past it, there are free hints. True, to get one, you have to spend 20 to 30 seconds watching ads. Blendoku 2. Relaxing logic game for perfectionists. It combines colored cubes and a perfect gradient. You can do it for a while or at your own pace in the Zen mode. 3 main color parameters that you will have to get acquainted with. 1. Hue. What exactly is the color? Whether it is red, yellow, blue, or somewhere in between. 2. Brightness. How close it is to white. Pastel shades will be considered brighter than their pure counterparts, and they will have to be combined with the same soft shades. 3. Saturation. How close to black. For example, cherry would be considered more saturated than scarlet. Based on this knowledge, the player needs to connect the shades so that they form a gradient. The application is perfect for those who feel a designer vein in themselves. You can pump your understanding of colors effortlessly, and 500 free levels will completely absorb for hours. Moreover, this game is accessible even for colorblind people. In the settings, you can set the type of color blindness, and the application will adapt to such a player. It is especially addictive on devices with OLED screens. They convey the color as clearly as possible, without overloading the picture. Happy Glass. A graphic game where the glass must be full. When it is half empty, it is damn sad. The task of the user is to make sure that the water from the source gets to the vessel. And for this, he must draw lines, connecting things on the game sheet so that they form a springboard for life-giving moisture. Attachment is a great opportunity to introduce children and remind adults of the basics of physics. We will have to take into account gravity, free acceleration and other features of Mother Earth. Players will have to strain their brains, inventing a path for sun water. She will even have to make a dead loop and fly through ravines. Only the player can return the joy to the glass. Tiny Bubbles. A colorful visual adventure where you have to burst bubbles. But this is far from the usual Pop-It. Here you need to think about how to do it. The bubble must give a chain reaction to its friends so that they burst too. Passing the first 10 levels will seem incredibly simple, since you only need to work with transparent details. Further, the complexity increases and you will have to deal with multicolored balls, where you will have to combine strategies to get the desired result. Let us say the user needs to blow up 10 blue, 7 red and 5 purple balloons. The problem is that initially only red and blue will be on the level. The gamer will have to think over a strategy so that the exploding colored bubbles give their color to the neighbor ant. As a result, the desired shade is obtained. The game will give realistic bubble physics and excellent sound anti-stress accompaniment, which can replace the simple dimple. The main thing is not to forget to run away from sharp hedgehogs and jelly crabs. It is better not to be friends with them, they will lead to defeat. Aquavias, an unusual 3D puzzle in which you can feel like a city planner. You need to travel back to the time of the 7 wonders of the world and, with the help of a well-thought-out network of aqueducts, pillars with water, bring water to cities, sports arenas and to the hanging gardens of Babylon. The game of plumber will appeal to children and adults. It is noticeably different in aesthetics from those in Allah style. Connect the pipes in the right order. The player can set the optimal difficulty for himself and take free hints. True, they will be with advertising. So far, Aqueducts has 100 levels, but since the application is regularly updated, it is worth waiting for new water stories. So you need to be always ready to supply water to ancient Roman taps. Swipe 2. Love Child of Gardenscapes and Zuma. Here users can enjoy the usual multiple in a row in a beautiful setting that visually resembles Zoom. The difference from 3 in a row is that here you can create long chains of dozens of pebbles. It is enough that they are neighbors to each other. The task is complicated by the fact that from time to time frozen crystals appear on the display, and you need to spend 2 steps to work with them. First you need to knock the ice out of them, having worked out the neighboring stones, and only then they can be included in the main combination. Snowfall mode takes this fight against the cold to the extreme. Mahjong, the popular Oriental desktop game, has won the hearts of the Western audience and is not going to leave. There are 2 variants of the game: gambling, similar to poker with bridge, and 2 to 4 players compete there, and solitaire. On PC and phones there are only solitaire games. This game is no exception. The player will have to carefully adjust his eye in order to get the hang of finding tiles with the same pattern in a split second. The goal of the player is to carefully disassemble a randomly constructed figure from unintentionally scattered pebbles. In one move, you can only remove 2 unlocked chips that are located on the edge of the playing field. In the classic board game, there are hands that cannot be completed. The phone launches a random according to a special algorithm that the player will have at least one way to solve the problem. And if the classic Mahjong dominoes seem too difficult to recognize, in this game you can replace the graphics of the bones with the one that will be more familiar, from flowers and numbers to food patterns. Bridge Construction Simulator, one of the best bridge and track building simulators on mobile platforms. It is considered the best. Here you have to remember the school physics course, analyzing gravity, fastenings and even weather. The limited number of parts and realistic mechanics make you think, how best to place supports, what should be the bridge to withstand 5 overloaded trucks at once, etc. If critical mistakes were made during construction, the bridge may not even support its own weight at the crossroads. The game will appeal to those who come to relax, and those who want to prepare for the physics exam while playing. Different difficulty levels will allow you to customize the game so that everyone likes it. Unblock Me, another variation of the game of tag that will help you relax after a hard day and make you strain your brains. The main task is to release the locked part, giving it away, and you can do this by moving free blocks. In total, the application has more than 40,000 levels that are available even without the internet. At the same time, the program takes up almost no space. Its weight is only 14 megabytes, which is comparable to 4 to 5 photos in good resolution. In total, the game has 2 options. Unblock Free is a free variation of the game, where ads will slip every 3 to 4 levels. Unblock Premium is an ad-free version that costs $0.99. Those who are not alien to reflection can choose the hard level, while fans of easy victories will like the easy mode. And those who want to feel the taste of new victories all the time will like the daily tasks of varying difficulty. Infinity Loop. At first glance, a simple, but in fact a difficult game for the development of logic on Android. The player will have to rotate the lines to create complete, and sometimes even endless, shapes from them. The task is to click on the parts of the figures until they merge into one. Thus, the player will complete the level and get to an even more complex figure. After he reaches the 100th level, everything will go in the opposite direction. The gamer will have to disconnect the figure, making sure that the parts do not touch each other. Developers regularly update the game, improving the capabilities of artificial intelligence that comes up with levels. So the number of combinations, as well as levels, here tends to infinity. And the background music from the application can be used as a lullaby. It is so soft and soothing. The game can be played even from a watch. It supports Android Wear and watch systems. These 10 stories are the best Android puzzle games that the modern gaming industry can provide. They deserve their victory in our rating by being able to distinguish themselves from competitors, having universal and understandable rules. Thank you for your attention. Subscribe to the channel.